Place the 1-hole off-centered adapter at the end of the row of the water supply side, or uphill side. Then pull up the geotextile membrane to cover up. At the other end of the row or downhill side, where the piezometers will be installed, place the 2-hole adapters. They must be placed vertically. Once again, cover the ends with the geotextile membrane. You can now start the first step of filling in the EnviroSeptic pipes. First, drop some sand on the joints or couplings in order to prevent the pipes from turning. Proceed carefully. Then fill up with more sand over the entire length of pipes. To balance the pipes correctly, stomp on them as shown here. By doing this, you make sure that you will fill up the empty spaces left on the underside of the pipe. Fill up the rest of the EnviroSeptic pipes with 4 inches of filtering sand on top, minimum. You are now ready to install the piezometers. In order to be able to get in the EnviroSeptic pipe by 4 inches, take 20 inches minimum for the piezometer base, neither more nor less. It is the way to proceed for the piezometers as well as the vent and water supply. In the bottom holes, slide in an horizontal pipe equipped with a square elbow. Then place a vertical pipe that stands up to the height of your final grade. Once completed, add a cap to the top end. It is now time to connect the pipes to a vent. Use a minimum length of 8 inches of piping between the ends of the EnviroSeptic pipe and the elbow or the T. By putting your level this way, you automatically get your 1% slope. In order to keep the condensation flowing at all times, make sure that there is a 1% slope between the vent pipes and the EnviroSeptic pipes. In the case of a gravitational feed system, only one vent is necessary. It shall act as an air entry and the outlet will be the vent on the building's roof. There must always be a 10 feet 8 difference between both vents in order for the airflow to be efficient. When the system needs a pumping station, like we see here today, the air system must be backed up with an additional vent. The minimum 10 feet or 3 meter height difference between the inlet and the outlet is still required. Another option consists of using a bypass pipe between the distribution box and the pumping station in order to guarantee the functional air system. When installing the distribution box, the leveling step is, as always, the primary step. Make sure that you keep a 1% slope minimum between the bottom of the tank's outlet and the bottom of the distribution box inlet. Be sure to use the hole designated to that effect. The holes of the distribution box must be cleared. All you have to do is use a knife to make a cut on part of the diameter. Then pry off the black disc by pulling gently. Do not try to push through the rubber disc without cutting it first. You might break it. When inserting the PVC pipes, do not go over 1 inch inside the distribution box. Rotate the pipe in order to facilitate the insertion. Insert the pipe 4 inches inside the EnviroSeptic pipe. This also applies to the vents, piezometers, and water supply. For all feed and vent pipes, level those with the top of the EnviroSeptic pipe. For the feed parts, keep a 1% minimum slope between the distribution box and the feed source of every EnviroSeptic pipe section. The use of a pumping station requires the installation of a flow reducer device before it enters the distribution box. In order to avoid too much turbulence into the box, place your 1.5 inch to 4 inch adapter 10 feet before the box and then use 10 feet of 4 inch PVC pipe for the rest. The output of water flowing into the feed pipes must be balanced. Here's how to do it. First, place the adjustment button of the equalizer upward. Using a bucket, pour enough water into the box so that it flows out of every opening. As soon as the water stops flowing into one of the equalizers, the required level is determined by that one. Now adjust the equalizers by placing the other openings at the same height as the first marker. Water must stop flowing into all exit pipes at the same time. Repeat this test a couple of times to be certain that you have reached the right level of distribution for each exit hole. We are now ready to fill up. 12 inches minimum of material is required on the top of the EnviroSeptic pipes. It is very important that you use the same material to fill up on top, under, and around the EnviroSeptic pipes. In this case, filtering sand. On top, you must use a minimum of 4 inches, but never less. Then you complete the backfilling with topsoil to a total of 12-inch minimum. When the installation is made partly out of the ground, give the embankment the required slope as indicated in the plan. Plan a light slope on the top of the leach field to allow the rain to flow outward. You are now ready to cover up the installation with herbaceous plants and vegetation. By doing this, you will avoid erosion and minimize water infiltration. Before you leave, do the following test. Remove the elbow of the vent, take a piece of paper, light it up and put it out immediately to produce smoke. Place it in the pipe and observe the direction in which the smoke goes after 10 or 15 seconds. If the smoke enters the vent, the venting works. If not, check where the circuit is cut off. The septic tank or pumping station may not be covered properly or may not be airtight. Your vent must be high enough so that it doesn't get covered by snow. Keep in mind that the EnviroSeptic system is a good and simple way of replacing traditional systems and also many treatment systems. In most cases, it will also give you a footprint reduction. Do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions and have a great installation.